Spider-Man, everyone's favourite superhero. By now you should know who he is.
Created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, and then first appeared in a comic called Amazing Fantasy number 15 in August 1962.
Fast forward through time and Spider-Man has sold over 380 million copies. That's a lot of paper and trees to cut down.
With many reiterations, side stories and crossover.
It wouldn't be long before Spider-Man entered the movie scene. Now there's a lot of movie about Spider-Man, but today we're gonna focus on the early 2000s directed by Sam Raimi.
Yeah, the same director who did the gruesome, terrifying and oddly hilarious Evil Dead.
And who couldn't forget the stars of the film?
Tobey Maguire, an adult who plays a teenager Spider-Man. Sounds like Michael Jackson's wet dream. Wait, what? Good thing that didn't happen. Kirsten Dunst, who played Mary Jane, James Franco, who plays Harry Osborn, and Willem Dafoe, who plays Norman Osborn / Green Goblin.
Looking back at it, they're just mostly adults trying to act like little children. Now with the movie success, of course a video game is gonna come right after, and that's what we're gonna talk about today.
Spider-Man, also known as Spider-Man the movie, is an action-adventure beat-em-up that is loosely based off the movie, in which you find out later. The game was developed by Treyarch and published by Activision. The game was released in 2002 for Game Boy Advance, GameCube, PC, PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Now this game has a lot of similarities between the PlayStation Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro. The game is an open world where you can swing anywhere you want to. It's kinda a semi-linear game, as half of the levels are outside and half of it is inside. Not only is the presentation the same, but the gameplay as well.
The combos are like for like the same, but you can collect gold spider tokens to learn more combo attacks, but even the movement is the same. It is literally copy and paste, except with prettier graphics.
Lazy bastards. The only difference is that you can web swing for unlimited amount. The voice acting is awful, as only Tobey Maguire and Willem Dafoe return to play as their roles. Like seriously, everyone just shoehorned it in. Except for the Green Goblin, well, Willem Dafoe. The FMV are terrifying, especially since it's the early 2000s when they were getting used to it. But with that said, let's start with the story. The story starts with a narration. As Peter talks about living with his aunt and uncle, wanting to earn some money, he tries to wrestle Bonesaw, unfortunately without Macho Man Randy Savage to play the role.
Hey, Freak Show! You're going nowhere! I got you for 3 minutes! 3 minutes of playtime!
Now you win, but you get scammed by the promoter. But when he gets robbed by the thug, Peter doesn't do anything, as it's not his problem. But later on, you find out that Uncle Ben was killed by the same person you didn't stop.
Now the game starts with Peter climbing up a building and changing into his wrestling outfit.
Okay, let's look for the killer. Huh? What? How the fuck is that possible? There's no chemical gas roaming around the streets like in PlayStation 1. I mean, that doesn't even make sense.
You swing from building to building, beating up gang members, and eventually interrogate one of them and find out that the killer is hiding in a warehouse. When the mission is complete, you're greeted with a bonus screen. If you complete certain tasks, you earn points, and with that you unlock secrets and a few costumes.
Don't get too excited. The costume is shit.
Shortly arriving at the warehouse before the police, you quickly battle against gang members. Now since in the mission you're inside buildings, the movement is clunky and weird, and the camera, since it's manual, can get difficult to control. This is evident in the first boss battle, as this area is clustered with objects, so it's hard to maneuver and control the camera at the same time.
Now, when you defeat the thug by spamming web shots, you're rewarded with the best reenactment of the movie. Just watch.
Not you!
Stay back! I'm warning you, you psycho!
I could have stopped you at the fight promoter's office. I could have saved Uncle Ben.
How did he lose his balance? Wasn't there supposed to be a pipe there to make him fall? And the window is super duper fragile for it to break like that.
After that happens, Peter talks about his friends on Daily Bugle. Speaking of which, you have to take picture of Spider-Man swinging across the city, but then is ambushed by Oscorp drones that can detect arachnid DNA. When we destroy them all, Norman thinks of all the new strategies to capture Spider-Man so he can use his blood and create a new super soldier serum.
Now here we get some non-canon storyline as we focus on the Shocker and Vulture.
Now, when I said the FMV looks terrible, that's mostly the case for when they animate facial features, but when Spider-Man or whoever has a mask, it looks really good. Anyways, they steal from a jewelry store as he chases after Shocker in a Grand Central. Now in here you mostly rescue security guards and civilians from Shocker goons.
So you must be Quilt Man, Padded Pete, Mr. Triple Ply? Oh, I've got it. The cushion.
Oh my god, this is terrible. Who the hell wrote this piece of shit dialogue?
About that. Now say goodbye to Mr. Innocent Bystander, sucker.
Tell me about it.
Again? What is it with this stupid level? Why is this guy on the phone all by himself? Didn't he hear me beating up the thugs? Guess not. This stupid idiot's on the phone, probably talking to Siri, as the huge pillar's about to collapse on him, and he didn't even hear a thing. He didn't hear the shockwave that Shocker gave to that pillar. Whatever, I'm done. You chase the Shocker in the sewers.
Okay, here we are in the sewers. This reminds me of PlayStation Spider-Man sewer section, but this is more shit, no pun intended. Luckily the water isn't that deep to drown in. Anyways, you chase Shocker as he is in the other side of the tunnel. Now here you need to be quick, just click R3 and zip towards the wall between and you shouldn't have a problem. Now the fight begins.
Come on, freak. You need to learn a lesson, and Shocker's School of Hard Knocks is now open. You've been riding me long enough. I'm gonna finish you once and for all.
Is it me or does he sound like bootleg John Cena?
When you defeat the Shocker, he tells you that the Vulture is hiding in old clock tower.
What a goddamn snake. To be honest, I would have done the same. I mean, if I can't get my money, no one can.
You arrive at the clock tower, and this place is riddled with traps, from wall bomb, spider bomb, dare bomb, and a magical swinging log. This place is a maze and too dark to see. It can get really annoying, but then towards the end of the level, you're bombarded by a plethora of bombs. You don't even have time to breathe.
Now that that bullshit is over, you chase Vulture across the city
and protect the civilians from falling debris. What's the point of me saving them if I can't go down there in the first place? It's stupid. Now, it's a one-on-one boss fight. It's simple, just get him down from flying and beat him to a pulp. Meanwhile, Scorpion is getting chased by spider robots because he also has arachnid DNA. You both team up at the parking lot and defeat the robots, but he quickly betrays you as he thinks you're part of them. You have a fight with Scorpion, it's easy, just fight him at close combat. Now, when you defeat him, you quickly observe the broken Spider-Bot, but as you do so, Scorpion escapes from Spider-Man, very loudly of course, and you wonder how did he escape.
Back to canon now, as we see that Norman is fired from his company. He tries the serum on himself, but it didn't work, causing him to go a little bit loopy, and becomes the Green Goblin. He arrives at the festival, killing the same people who had fired him.
But MJ was caught in between, as he got a saver from a giant panda. Doing so,
Problem. Grab hold of a rogue balloon anytime. Rescuing damsels is my specialty.
Go get him, Tiger.
Okay, so we're just gonna ignore millions of people getting crushed by a giant panda. You get rewarded with a kiss on the cheek. Now, with the raging boner at your side,
you stop the Green Goblin rampage on the city.
Stay away from the bird and plane metaphors. That's that other guy.
Superman reference?
The rampage continues as you gotta fight the Goblin. In this section you just gotta kick him out of his glider and fight face to face. Then when all that is over, he tries to create an alliance with you, but he's having none of it. In retaliation, the Goblin has set the bomb across the city and you have the choice to either stop him or stop the bombs. Of course you stop the bombs, but it's a race against time as you gotta find and stop the bombs from detonating while swinging, trying to avoid the drones that are on your tail.
This mission is a definition of dog shit. I hate time trial missions. Now, I didn't know about this, but apparently Xbox, the sly little devils, had a mission that was exclusive to them. I did my research to see what it was about, and apparently you play 2 missions and have to face off against Kraven the Hunter. Basically, the first mission is avoid obstacles and make it to the end, whilst the second mission is a boss fight. I honestly don't know why this was cut from the rest of the platform. I mean, this is my first time hearing it in 17 years of me playing this game.
After all that, you confront Green Goblin again, but is overwhelmed by these razor claws. You destroy 50 of them, but then hide at a construction site, hoping he won't find you. You find a broken razor claw on the ground and analyze it at home. You find out that Oscorp produced these weapons, so we decide to invade the building and find a connection between the two.
Who in their right mind would create these next couple of missions? Alright, is basically Metal Gear Spydur-Mayn.
Like I said, this is a stealth section where you really don't want to get caught. As if you do, prepare to be raped by androids who are non-stop vigilant and are coming to get your spider ass.
Of course, when something this intense happens, the music is goddamn nerve-wracking. The alarm goes off and you're there panicking, jumping up and down, finding the nearest shadow to hide in so that they don't see you again.
In order to get through the metal doors, you need to find a passcode that are scattered throughout the area and hope not to get caught. Going through these doors will get you further into the lab, as one scientist has a dilemma when he finds out that Oscorp are secretly making chemical weapons. Of course, we gotta stop them. Now, if you thought the previous one was intense, this is worse, as now there are cameras, patrol guards and
Laser.
so wall crawling will be difficult.
Enemy sighted.
Oh my god, he just killed an innocent man. Once you stop the chemical machine making baby thingy, you find another Oscorp secret weapon in a hangar, as this is the ultimate killing machine. You destroy 10 generators, 4 on the walkway and the rest on the machine. Be careful as you don't want to be blasted by his huge rod. When all those are destroyed, you attack the sensors on his neck.
Now when all that's over, you head to Norman's office hoping to look for clues, but instead you find a photo of MJ kissing Spider-Man. Now when Peter sees this, he leaves and rushes, hoping to kill Spider-Man with a crime of passion, I think. Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that everybody knows you're here, you have to rush through guards and android as well. Disable lasers that are blocking your way and sentry guns so you don't get shot to pieces.
After narrowly escape Oscorp, Spider-Man rushes to save MJ, but it's too late, as Green Goblin claim her as his own and will be newlywed. But of course Spider-Man doesn't like that and gives chase.
Now this chase sequence is the only difficult one in this game, as you have to avoid traps in the air and constantly be at top speed, as if we lose them, you know what happens.
As I said before, the camera is terrible, but it really shows in this part, as it's very fast paced and you don't have time to adjust the angles in the way that you want it. Example, if you look straight and turn left, the camera won't turn to
your position, as it's just locked on to whatever the game tells it to. Now the end level. Before you fight the Green Goblin, you got to save the damsel in distress and move her out of the way so that you can have an epic fight. The fight is simple, just attack him in the air until he lands, then go ham, or try to. But of course the Green Goblin is not alone, as this time he has his glider to fight alongside him. Defeated, the Green Goblin shockingly unmasks himself, revealing to be Norman Osborn.
Well, I put it up there as Vader reveals to Luke that he's his father.
In his final attempt, he tries to kill Spydur-Mayn, but accidentally kills himself with his own glider.
Now from what I know from the movies, Goblin's final words were,
Peter. Don't tell Harry.
I mean that moment was iconic for me. Let's see if this game has any.
Tell Harry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
Well, that was just fucking lazy.
The game ends with Spider-Man and MJ reuniting and she kisses him.
This bitch can't still remove the mask.
The camera pans out as he narrates the end of the story and, weirdly enough, breaks the fourth wall by saying,
Looks like you're done now. Go outside and play.
Well, Mr. Peter Pan, has it ever occurred to you that some of us don't have friends to play with? Huh? Bitch.
Well, that's Spider-Man the movie for the PS2. Honestly, don't bother with it. I mean, yeah, it was good back in the day and all, but it makes me want to play Spider-Man on the PlayStation. I mean, this game has no character, no identity of its own. On the other hand, this has charm, more content, and a better story, even if it's all cheesy. But one thing, well, two that I will say, is that William Dafoe did a perfect job at voice acting. Honestly, whenever the Green Goblin shows up, it's like he's the star of the game. How can I not forget that this game is narrated by Bruce Campbell, you know, the guy from Evil Dead, and also the director which I said before. To be honest, I don't know if I prefer Bruce Campbell's performance or Stan Lee's from the PlayStation. I'll leave that up to you. Well, remember to like, subscribe and share and all that stuff, and I'll see you later. Bye now.